Yo. What up? What's going on? How's
What's
everybody out
going on, man?
there? Man. Good, man. What's up, everybody that's going to tune in? Everybody that's tuning in, man. Appreciate you, man. I ain't been here in a minute, so we back. It's been a long time, man. We've been busy, man. We've been busy dads. You know, out here doing busy things, man. Doing a lot.
Hmm.
Volleyball uh flipping homes, you know,
Yeah.
on the home flipping thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Getting
Get,
kids ready to graduate and stuff, man. Been busy, man. Busy.
yeah. Get them prepared for college.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Big step, man. Big step, man. That's that college within a generation, man. That's dope, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know, it'd be your second one going to college.
Yeah, it'd be my second. And through all the bumps of learning from the first child to the second child, like we learned so many different lessons and ways to kind of go about it. Let alone having the real conversation with our oldest.
Mhm.
Um, to you know adjust mindsets, right? Because we all got to adjust mindsets, even parents.
Yeah.
um
Mhm.
so just the lessons that we kind of are going through.
Yeah, man. I think that's one thing that I guess you know, uh being young parents, man, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it is learning, man. You know what I'm saying? It's constant learning, constant changing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Changing a lot, man. And you still want to be parent, you still want to teach those lessons and stuff, man. But it's just is it like you said, it's just constant learning, man. I always thought of it as, like you know, that raising kids, man. Like, I always say that when you're raising kids, when they're in your house, you are
Mhm.
a safety net, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When they have more freedoms, you know what I'm saying, or if they out your house, you know what I mean. The only thing you could be is a parachute. You
Hmm.
know, slow them down. You know what I'm saying. So you have to tell your kids that and prepare them. You know what I'm saying for stuff like that, man. But yeah, man, we had a man. It seemed like volleyball season was long this year. It seemed like we had like way more games this year, and, and man, and it seemed like we had way more games this year. I don't know. Did it seem like that to you?
For us, man, we said volleyball season went quick
Oh, really?
for us,
Man.
man, because the previous years, man, we would go to tournaments, and keep in mind they were week-long tournaments, as you know.
Yeah,
and,
uh-huh.
and
Oh,
we spending 9-10 hours and
yeah.
sometimes 12 hours just volleyball one day. And
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this is killing me.
Mhm,
and,
mm,
and you know this year it was more or less like we in there for a few hours, maybe 6 hours,
mhm.
seven at best, and man, we're out of there. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, that was pretty quick. I actually enjoyed the season rolling along that way.
Mhm. Yeah, that's why, like, yeah, I think that, it didn't seem like there was as many teams. It didn't seem like we were there long, it didn't seem
Yeah.
like our days were long, you know what I mean? Last year, it seemed like, man, we're there for a long time, you know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
where we were at, where the tournaments take place, this year, we were like, "Man, why we staying in hotels? Let's just drive home."
Yeah.
So, of course, driving up there and driving home, you know what I'm saying? Driving back and stuff like that. I mean, we had time. The game, I mean,
Yeah.
game started in the morning. We were
Hmm.
done by like 2 o'clock. If it started in the
Hmm.
afternoon, done by like. So it's like, all right, well, we ain't gotta be back to the afternoon. So you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it was just all around like yeah, man, we were just man, it just seemed like it was a lot of a lot, at least to me. It seemed like we were doing like a lot of
Well,
volleyball.
well, you got two playing at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah.
So so yeah, that's double work.
Yeah. But the good thing is that they played on the same day. You know what I'm saying?
That
So
is true. Yeah.
yeah, they played on the same day. So and we were still able to get out, within a decent amount of time, man. Maybe that's why it
Mhm.
seemed like it was a lot of volleyball, right? Because then one would play at a certain time, and then
Mhm.
we like ping ponging in between,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
they're playing at the same time, and then you know what I mean. So we literally had no break. Where normally, you have a break, like an hour or two, break.
Yeah.
We literally volleyball starting, and we weren't done, until the day was over. And I generally like bring a book or something, so I can read
Mhm.
between the time. Like I had no time to read, barely read books and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And a funny thing about books, So so I'm sitting there reading the book, and this white lady comes up. She's like, "Oh, what are you reading?" And I was like, "Oh, this is stamped by Ibram Kendi," and she just had this look like, "Oh, oh, oh," and then she was like, "Oh, well, what's it about?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's about telling about historical, black experiences in America. You know what I mean? Is going through, and I'm telling her parts of the book. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, about I was telling her because I was just telling her about the parts that I had finished reading, and I was telling her about how the Portuguese basically went into Africa, for
Right.
gold. You know what I'm saying? For gold, and that's how the slave trade started, and capitalism, and Columbus. I was telling her about Columbus. That's what I did. I told her
Mhm.
about Columbus. You know what I'm saying? And how when Columbus lands in shoot, I forget where he lands somewhere in the Caribbean, and he
Mhm.
calls the people there negros de tara, which
Mhm.
means blacks of the land. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I was telling her that this, I was like, yeah, this idea about people, black people being black or being referred to, or African people being referred to as black, started in the 1400s. You know what I'm saying? Or started like way, like actually the 800, where
I,
Aristotle and all those guys.
I was about to say, yeah, it's
Yeah.
written. Yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't call the land, which is called Africa now, but they called it Ethiopia, and they called it other names as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
Referring to the dark skinned people as black there. And she was like,
Yeah.
oh, like
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, explaining, these parts of the book.
Wow, critical race theory.
Correct. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where her mind went. You know what I mean? Her mind went straight to correct. And part of it was me doing that on purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, this lady from South Carolina, I know she don't like critical race theory, so I'm gonna bring up some critical race theory stuff so that it's like, oh my god. So then she go to church, and then she pray to white Jesus, and what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah.
Pray to white Jesus, that what I'm saying. But it is but yeah, man, the volleyball season just seemed like real long, man. And in between there, and I know you had some projects with doing flipping homes and stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So we bought a property back in late December.
Mm-hmm.
And in January, man, we started working on it. Not me, but we hired somebody to do the work back in January, and everything was kind of going great.
Mm-hmm.
And we hit a big roadblock with this particular gentleman,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden, he just stopped kind of getting work done.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the lesson learned that we went back to was our first flip. It was just like, yeah, we can't allow too much to go past before we fire this guy because we want to be nice.
Right, 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 right.
And it was one of those moments that the lesson that you learn from people that are in the business, or if you want to play the capitalism game the way
Mm-hmm.
it should be played, which because we all have to play, there's no other options, right?
Mm-hmm.
um that we basically had to literally say, yeah, we won't go through what we went through last time. We got to fire this guy.
Right, 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 right.
And we had a talk with him, you know what I mean? Because we also don't want to make, want him to make future mistakes, right?
Right.
That he made, because he still was a young guy.
Oh, okay, okay. And losing
And
money, man. Hey, that's a lesson when you lose money.
yeah, yeah. So he also taught us another lesson, right?
Mhm,
Because we end up almost paying him 80%, but yet when we analyzed the project, we technically were still about 65 to 75% complete. When we
mhm,
were first looking at it, we were assuming that it was 85% complete, but
mhm,
he left so many small little detailed things that we hired someone else, and he's been working on the property going on 3 weeks,
mm,
and actually this will be the fourth week.
mhm,
And here again, the lesson for us is, when you're talking about money, you're talking about capitalism, you're talking about your gains of profit, and so forth. What we should have done before we paid him the 50%, we should have analyzed the property, analyzed were there any damages
mhm.
done in the property through his work,
Ah,
and that,
mhm,
because that's the key,
mhm, mhm,
right? Because if he damaged something, that cost will come back off of you,
mhm, mhm, mhm.
and you
If
should
you
make him
don't take it away from him.
correct,
Right,
correct.
right, right, right. Mhm,
So that was a really important lesson that we learned from him.
mhm,
Is we end up, being the nice people that we try to be, and
mhm.
say, yeah, you guys, we haven't paid you guys in 4 weeks, even though, like, we really haven't seen any work really get done in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But we understand, like, y'all got bills and such and
Mhm,
such.
mhm, mhm.
But in the meantime, what we have to understand is they have bills, but if the bills were important to them, they would finish the work and complete it correctly
Exactly,
to get paid.
exactly, exactly,
It
exactly.
wasn't our responsibility to do that.
Right, exactly, exactly. At the end of the day, that person has a business, right? And not only do they got a business, their name is attached to that business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But not only their name attached to their business, but they're like uh uh the ethics and
Hmm.
all that stuff is attached to their business. So you want to do a good job, man. You know what I'm saying? Or do you know a good enough.
Some do.
Yeah, some do, but it's like me and you talked about, right? There's a certain I won't say mentality, a certain attitude about black folk in the South, man,
Yeah, yeah.
and how they approach, and a lot of it's cultural. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be dismissive of that. You know what I'm saying? That it is, a lot of it is cultural. Being that, and the cultural part is that, hey, man, you understand. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
they're not in a hurry to do anything.
Hmm.
It's they're not in a hurry to do anything. So to them, and it's about this thing called time. You know what I'm saying? And I was reading, what am I reading? I need to pick that book back up, but it's called Post Traumatic Slave Syndrome, and it's written by Dr. Joyce DeGruy. And
Yeah.
it talks about how black people are African, how our viewpoint of time is passed down, you know what I mean, culturally. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm.
It's okay in the black culture to, if you say, hey, the party starts at 7 and you show up at 7:15, 7:30, nobody's gonna trip. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Culturally, that it's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason why you can go to Jamaica and they say everything Ari.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, no worries, no worries.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's what it's about, man. It's a cultural thing. But like you said, you try to help our people. You try to help people out, man. You know what I'm saying? Our
Hmm.
people out. And what's dope is that you said that you guys is a young person,
Hmm.
young
Hmm.
business. So you help them out, show them. You know what I mean? Gave them
Yeah,
talk to. You know what I'm saying? Put
yeah,
them on
yeah,
put them on your knees, so to speak.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
hopefully you take that to heart, man, you know?
Well, So some time pass, and we're finding out other things.
Mm,
Putting the flooring down and covering the existing vents.
yikes. Come on, dog.
Yeah. So we had to go find all of the vents. Yeah.
What? Come
Yeah.
on, bro. Come on, man.
So, we decided to text him again
Mm-hmm.
and like, hey man, like this kind of stuff was not acceptable at all. And the first thing
Mm-hmm.
he did was say, well, you guys were, you know, basically we were rushing him because we were on a timeline. That was his excuse. Keep in mind, he had all the time to reflect from the first conversation that we were having, where we gave him 80% of
Yeah.
what he was asking to complete this job.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow.
But he's a contractor, and part of the
But
contract,
he's,
everything is based on the timeline, bruh. Come on, man.
yes,
Come on, bruh. Ain't
yes,
nobody gonna pay you. Ain't nobody gonna pay you to do flooring in a
yes.
in a 1,200 square foot house, and you take 365 days.
Yeah, yeah.
I gonna
Right.
do that. Come on, man.
Right, right. And you cut corners on top
And
of
you
it.
cut corners on top of that, bro. Like you take no pride in your work, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Hmm.
at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Taking pride in your work. You know what I'm saying? Taking pride in what you do, man. Taking pride. Your business is your, that you gotta take pride in it, man. It's
It,
something
it,
I
it's
talk to my
it's
son
what
about,
represent you, man.
what represents you, and that's what I talk to my son about, man. He wants to start his business too, and I told
Hmm.
him that, hey man, look, when people send you stuff, you know what I'm saying, you gotta get it out in a timely manner.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, yeah,
it's about your pride, man. It is about your work quality, man. Quality.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And that's what people expect. You know what I mean? People pay for quality. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. The missus just actually just contact the nephew for our logo.
Okay.
So we gotta try a trademark because another thing we're starting to realize in this business is, well, why don't we get a sign whenever we're doing the project?
Yeah.
Stick the sign out there,
Sign out.
and instead of us working through wholesalers, what
Hmm.
we do is people know that we're working on the homes, because what we notice is how it goes. If one house is renovated in the neighborhood, you will start to see three or four houses be renovated in a neighborhood,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
which means that those houses are going to be sold.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So for us, we said, well, if someone can contact us directly, we can just pay for the property without paying a wholesaler.
Yeah.
So we trying to figure out how to cut the middleman
Gotta
out.
get the middleman out, man. Hey, that's how rich stay rich. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's how the rich get rich. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You
yeah.
figure out
Not
how
by
to
storming the Capitol.
not by stuff. Yeah, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had to say that, man. Don't tread on me, man.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I can't wait for that logo to come out. I gotta send my son our logo too. Shoot, I keep
Okay.
telling him to do that, but I'm gonna do that tonight. And I
Yeah.
told him, what I mean, told my son that, look, man, do not, just because you got family coming to you, don't say, oh, I'm gonna give you all a discount. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, nah, nah.
Whew.
I told him, I was like, hey, son, like, look, you gonna charge me, okay? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
tell me how much it costs. Don't,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, I do it for free. I was like, nope, mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Give me whatever it costs, and then
Yeah,
pay. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying,
yeah.
because again, and it's something that we talked about, what I mean, culturally in the black community, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, generally goods and services in the black community has always been cheaper than what was outside. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times it cut, people's actually making capital. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we know black businesses, when it comes to black businesses, yes, there are black businesses, but they are not black businesses. I hate to say it, but they are not. They don't hire people. I can't remember
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the word that I'm trying to say, but they are not job creators. I'm sorry. They're
Yeah.
not job. creators, because a lot of the black businesses, it's either one or two employees. And if it's two employees, it's generally a family member. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? A husband and a wife, a husband and a wife, or, you know, or some other family member. You know what I'm saying? They're not like, oh, hiring these other black people. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. It's
Is
usually a sole proprietorship.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's where black businesses need to, get to. You know what I mean? And when, we talk about capitalism and that myth of black capitalism, you know what I'm saying? It is about, what I'm saying, about hiring other black people within the black community, right? Black people live amongst other black people. So you hire
Hmm.
other black people within the community and you get them, you know, excuse me. So like with y'all's business, you would get to the point to where you have your own contractor, you know what I'm saying, that you're paying. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, you have your own contractor and you're like, hey, we got this house, go fix it.
Right, right, right. And what we're doing is creating this ladder, right?
Hmm,
Um,
hmm,
because economically, we're also helping them also grow, which then they can hire people to make money to help them grow, right?
Yes.
This is how the capitalism game is to be played if you want to play the capitalism game.
That would be true black capitalism.
Right, right,
Right,
right,
right, right, right. The current black capitalism that we talk about, that ain't it's a myth. It is
right,
a
right. It's the crony capitalism, right?
uh-huh.
It's the concept that we're buying into the crony capitalism because we don't understand that the information that we're getting from the very people who say that are owners of majority of the capital assets.
Mhm, mhm. Owner
Um,
owner of capital, man.
yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, yeah, man. People need to understand that, man. Like, when it comes to black businesses, look, and like we said, we'll keep saying it, man. We're not saying that, hey, don't start your black business. We're saying that, hey, man, you have to get to the point to where you are job creators. We are
yes,
creators. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what it was, man. But
yeah.
yeah, man. We've been gone. Go ahead, bro.
No, just closing out, man. That's even if you subcontract one person, right? You just created a job for that person,
Yeah,
and and,
absolutely,
and
absolutely,
and the
absolutely.
benefits of that shows up economically, right?
Hmm,
And whatever economic cycle that we're in.
hmm, hmm, hmm. Yeah.
And this is what we have to understand in the black community, that one, the reason why you don't take shorts, because it's your cousin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't take shorts because it's your cousin, because at the end of the day, you're giving your cousin a benefit that can help him economically, but the job that you are subcontracting need to help you also grow economically, so you can hire other people in the community
Mhm.
so they can all grow, and it's almost like a seed thing,
Mhm, 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 mhm.
you know.
Yeah, 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 man. That's true, man. That's it, man. Yeah, man. I guess we didn't talk about what's one of those things. I didn't even want to cover the Will Smith slap thing. That got on my nerves. Cause I'm like, I don't want to revisit it, but my thing is this, man, is that as I'm sitting back looking at it, you know, uh it's how quickly people associate black people with violence. You start to see the rhetoric.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
start
yeah,
like people are like, oh my God, it's Will Smith is so violent. Like, bro,
yeah.
like let's I understand that American language is hyperbolic, right?
Hmm, hmm.
Meaning that we exaggerate a lot of things, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
that don't need to be exaggerated, right? You know, of course, we'll slap Chris or whatnot, but at the same time, I don't call that violence, man. Chris still live, man. He was telling jokes for the rest of the night, man. It wasn't look, man, I think a slap is more disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
like look, I would have been disrespected. You slap me, at least if you ball
yeah.
your fist up and punch me. Look, you know what I'm saying?
Well, culturally, the smack in our community,
Hey,
is the ultimate disrespect.
disrespect. Open hand slap. Oh, that
Yeah, open hand.
back, man. I'm sorry. That is disrespect, man. We talking about
Yeah,
work.
yeah,
I'm like, look, bro, look, man. Look, if somebody slap me, we gotta fight, man. If you punch me, I gotta think about what I said. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
dang, you punch the crap out of me, man. What I do? But you slap me. Oh man, we gotta fight. That's just
Yeah,
you and
yeah.
me. You take the time out to ball up your fist. Oh nah. We got we got scrap, dog. We got scrap, dog. We got scrap. That's just what
Oh man.
we got scrap, man. That's just what it is, man. But
Yeah.
but again, I didn't. I don't know if you had anything to say on that.
No, man. Like like I was kind of talking to some people, man, and I got so tired and fed up because I started seeing the fake alpha males come out.
Oh yeah.
You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Like all the fake alpha males that and the reason why I'm saying that this is people that I grew up with. I seen
Mhm,
them.
mhm, mhm, mhm,
You know what I'm saying? And like they cool people, but man, come on, let's be honest. Let's be
mhm,
honest here.
mhm.
And like they were all like, you know, oh, Will was right because I would have sat back and smacked and just did this and whoop whoop whoop. And I'm sitting here like, whoa, time out, time out. I knew you damn near all my life since fifth, sixth, or eighth grade or whatever it may be, and I don't never know you to ever get into a fight.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So I know you ain't gonna sit back and get into no fight because someone sat back and said something about your wife hair.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there was that aspect of it too. But part of me, the other part of me is like, man, we are a celebrity obsessed culture. You know what I mean? We are way too obsessed with
Yes.
when I
And that's what it really boiled down to.
that's a boil down. We
Who
are
like Will more than Chris?
come on, man. And it is yeah, man. And at the end of the day, man, it's like we really need to chill on the celebrity, you know,
Yeah.
being so obsessive about what celebrities do, man. Like I don't
Hmm.
care, man. Like
No.
I really don't care. I posted some things on Facebook and I thought, because I thought it was funny,
Hmm.
like Will gave me the old Motown Philly, you know what I mean? And then but the but man, beyond that, I don't care, man. I don't care,
Yeah.
forget it. I didn't
They'll be all right.
really at the end of the day. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, I just didn't like the language that was around it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I thought what was coming out was the very thing like one, black men need to talk about, right?
Mhm,
And then two, black women need to talk about,
mhm.
because you kept hearing the rhetoric of like, that's right, stand up for a black queen and blah blah blah. And I'm like, are we really like this ain't Katanji?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like what Katanji was going through was way worse than a joke about someone's hair.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I'm like, this is what I said. I told people at work, like, look, there's always a reason to slap somebody. Like, look, if you disrespect my wife, and my wife feels you disrespected her, I have to respond, right? I have to respond to you in some sort of way. Might not necessarily be a slap, but I have to respond to you in some sort of way. And if I see my wife disrespect, or she says she's disrespectful, she felt disrespected, I got to respond to you. I just have to. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I understand. You know what I'm saying? Uh, kind of where where Will's coming from. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
No, but
you know,
that's the nuance.
yeah.
So that's like the point I'm getting at is on one side that should have been that needed to be a conversation, right? And
Hmm.
then the nuance was black men themselves who like me, it wasn't nothing for me since I was a little kid to knuckle up over nothing. Like
Hmm.
that's just who I was. You know what I'm saying? If I felt like if my mom whipped my ass the day before, someone else gonna get an ass whipping the next day. It,
Yeah.
that's just what it was.
Yeah.
And so I understood why he responded the way that he did.
Hmm.
but the life lessons being my age and going through what I went through and the changes, and then I realized, yeah, that's just not the proper way to respond to that. Even though my wife felt like she was disrespected, because one, I got to
Mhm,
talk to I got to sit back and talk to my wife. One, and then two, I'll have a conversation with him
mhm.
if she really felt disrespected.
If she really, yeah, yeah, right, right, right.
I
I
ain't
mean,
going to jump to no conclusion.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But like I said, like I told my coworkers, like, hey, man, there's always a reason to slap somebody. I'm just saying, there's always a reason.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
There's always a reason, man, to punch somebody in the face, man, slap somebody, man. But anyway, I just
Yeah,
want to put,
slap the hot fire out you, son.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I just
Yeah.
want to be careful on that. But you know, yeah, man, and man, what I seen in the news the other day, I don't even know why I bring it, but this black man in Tennessee, like created like Confederate, made April like uh, Confederate holiday, a Confederate month or something like that. I'm like, what is wrong with black folk in the South, man? What is like, oh man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, like I run into these black folk all the time, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They are so like they center white nationalists and white supremacy like so much, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But part of me is like, well, they grew up in it. You know what I'm saying? This is
Yeah.
what they know. They know to capitulate to. They know that in order for them to survive, they have to, you know what I mean? They have to center, you know, they have to center these individuals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Don't make no trouble around here, boy.
And that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like this dude, he was a mayor for he was a mayor for I don't know, mayor of this town for, like 15 years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The town is majority white. You know what I'm saying? He's been a black mayor. The town is like 2% black or some crap like that. But at the same time, I'm like, bruh. But and part of me is like, hey man, he just probably grew up in this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Probably like, like, man, like this is what he knows, you know what I mean? And he
Yeah.
thinks that what he is doing is the right thing. And what he and look, it's in Tennessee. It don't affect me here in South Carolina, you know what I mean? But at the same time, man, it's like, black man, have some dignity about you, man. You know what I mean? Have some sort of dignity about yourself, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like your position to be mayor in that town is that important that you have to put Confederate, you have to make April a Confederate holiday, dog. Like come
Well,
on.
because it's also happening in New York City, right?
Mhm.
As we watching Mayor Eric Adams, right?
Mm. Who's a
Where,
conservative?
where hmm?
He's a conservative.
He's a conservative, but the conservative blacks, what happened psychologically is how they get their gravy and biscuits
Mm.
is they talk down to black people.
Mm. Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And you're watching this play out with Mayor Adams.
Yeah, Mayor Adams always, yeah.
Yeah, every issue he ties it back to black people.
Mhm.
Every issue, black people are the only one who need to do something better or climb, the economic ladder, or is something wrong with black people?
And you know where that rhetoric comes from, man? And like, man, that's why, man, I don't know why I delayed reading Ibram Kendi, but I don't know why I delayed. But this brother, so what he was talking about, assimilationist.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Adams is he is a young boomer. So
Mm-hmm.
he has in his mind that in order to survive in America or make it in America, you have to assimilate.
Yeah.
Part of that assimilation is how you act around white folk. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Martin Luther King, when in the beginning, he talked about this. You know what I'm saying? That was his rhetoric. Later, Martin Luther King's like, nah, forget them. You know,
Right,
like
right, right.
fuck them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's how
yeah.
Martin Luther King was like, you know what I mean? Like this is how we going. It's all about black folk. But we have this generation of young boomers and some Gen Xers who are black folk who are like, oh, well, this is how we got to act in front of white folk, you know?
Mm-hmm.
saying? Rather than saying that, no, white folk need to change how they act
And think.
and think, right? Right?
Hmm.
Like we're always saying that, oh, in order to get rid of racism, we have to act. No, we didn't invent it. We didn't invent it. That's not our lane.
Right.
We didn't invent racism. We didn't invent race. We didn't invent Jim Crow. We didn't invent, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
We didn't invent all of these oppressive systems and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So why,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? And these individuals like Eric Adams, and he's gonna be gone the next election. He is gone.
Yeah, he
He
gone.
he gone,
Yeah,
man. He
yeah,
gone, man. So he better enjoy his time because he is gone.
yeah.
I mean, them New Yorkers were like, oh yeah, they're like, oh dang, we
Oh,
messed up.
yeah, they piss.
Yeah, yeah, and it's because I think it was their first choice, first time doing the ranked choice. The
Hmm.
way that they voted in, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I don't think a lot of them understood how to do the ranked choice voting and
Right,
things of that
right.
nature. So yeah, a lot of them are like, oh no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. So he's gone the next election. But again, we have these black folk who are a certain age, you know what I'm saying, who really are like, always telling black people that we need to act a certain way, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
front of white folk, you know what I'm saying, rather than trying to get white folk to understand that no, y'all need to change. Y'all
Yeah.
need to change how y'all think and how y'all act, you know what I'm saying, and how y'all behave, you know what I mean? But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, no. To tie it back to the Will Smith situation, man, I can't tell you how many older black people, in '60s and so forth, like their first thing was, oh man, Will Smith did that in front of white people, and I'm like, is that what you took out of it?
yeah, that's exactly what they took out of it because that's how they were brought up. They
Yeah,
were brought up to not act, do not act a certain way in front of white folk. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Not
yeah.
not to, hey man, just be yourself. You know what I mean? It's them. They're the ones with the problem, not you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's how a lot of them were brought up, you know what I'm saying? To think that way. And yeah, I heard the same rhetoric too. You know what I'm saying? I heard the same
Yeah.
rhetoric, you know what I mean? Talking with individuals, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, yeah, he just did that in front of white, like, so
Yeah, I know. Right?
white folk out here storming the Capitol. They stormed the damn Capitol.
And
Like,
wipe shit on the wall. Nobody is talking about
they
wiping shit on the
right
walls of
it
the
on
people's
the
house.
wall, man. Like, put things in perspective, homie. Put things in perspective, man. Like, this ain't, you know, and as I think about it, I'm like, man, but this is what we got to deal with for the next 20 years. We got to deal with these younger boomers and some of the
Yeah.
older Gen Xers, you know what I'm saying? We're in that age range to where we kind of relate more to them. We're older millennials, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
We're older millennials and younger Gen Xers, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So we just looking at like, yeah, nah, this is weird, dog. This is weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is weird, man. We can't do this, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, so it is, yeah, man. It's just weird, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right
All right. Go- You going on a break? Oh man. Well, I guess he just left it to me. I don't know what to really talk about. Old people can't hold their bladder, man. You get a certain age, boy, you can't hold it that long. So you gotta get up and go. You got old bladder. But yeah, we had what I'm saying, podcast, man, just chopping it up. And we just talking about some things, man, some things that's been going on. We may be late, but a lot of this ties into other conversations that goes on in the world or life. Oh, okay. I, ain't know if I don't know if I'm talking or what. I said, man, it's an old man bladder, man. Got to get up and go when he got to go.
Yeah, man. So what's funny is that I told JY, man, like, hey dog, I'm drinking a beer, so you know what that means. You gotta
Yeah,
bust it for a little bit.
yeah. I didn't know if it was paused or what. I just like, man, I guess I have to talk to myself. I don't know what's going on, man. Old man bladder.
But man, I can't, that's how I can't be doing that. Yeah, as much as I want to
Yeah.
drink while we doing this, man, I can't do that, man.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't do that. Man.
Yeah, yeah.
Man. So I'm sitting. That's why that long drive. Of course, we had to part of what was going on, man, with everything that we had going on. We had to say goodbye to one of our elders who's now an ancestor.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
one of the great men in our family. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we had to do that this weekend. Um, you know, and we are slowly. Not slowly, but we are the elders in our family, man. So
Yeah.
that carries a lot of weight, man. So
Yeah, we are technically, you might as well say officially, we are the elders, and primarily you and Mike, um, you know, but you know how that go. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah. Mike
but
older than me, man. Mike's the grandpa. You
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he gonna chime in, but
Yeah,
he's watching
but
right.
oh, okay, yeah, but but it's time for us, what we well, the theme of this weekend seemed to be from the elder that passed, was our uncle, but he
Mm,
was an educator, right?
yeah,
In many different forms.
yeah, hmm
Um, and it's one of the torches that we learned it automatically because our mom was the same way.
hmm
Um, where it was always a lesson in the conversation.
yeah,
Even if you didn't want it, you'll get it eventually.
yep. You gonna get it whether you like it or not.
Yeah, yeah. And those are the things that we have to take that mantle up.
hmm Yeah, man, we can't be afraid to take it up either, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? To grab a hold of it and and to grab a hold of it and then and impart knowledge, man, impart wisdom, you know.
Yeah.
But we can't, we gotta we can't do things, we have to do it our way. You know what I'm saying? We do it our way. We don't have to do it their way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, yeah. We take the lessons learned and things of that nature. Be appreciative of them and things of that nature. Pray to them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, um, always ask protection from our mom and our father and our
Mm-hmm.
grandparents. Um, for my children. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Our
Mm-hmm.
family at large. So doing a little ancestral prayer. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, so yeah, man, it was it was a somber weekend. It was a good weekend, despite the certain circumstances to get whether to get together with the family. But you know, we have to again, we're the elders, so we gotta bring make time to bring everybody together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's something that we got to do. I know our cousin Gabby, was working hard to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that we
Mm-hmm.
got to do. And it's something that you know, culturally, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we gotta keep up, man. That was another thing I was thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, thinking about black culture. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, we got to do more gatekeeping, man, because it just seems like it just seems like just that we are slowly, because a lot of the older generation that's a certain age are they're the loudest voices at times, you know what I'm saying, and because they're assimilationists, whether they're
Mm-hmm.
politically on the right or the left, they're assimilationists.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They sometimes bury our culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got to recapture that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And I think that that's sort of what the movement, what we're seeing, and of course is being deemed, especially by like white liberals, like as being like black nationalists, and just like,
hmm hmm
yeah, but it's not the same as white nationalists.
Right, 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 right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, I heard on Sam Cedar show, like Emma talking about it, and it's just like, and she was just kind of just saying it, kind of like flippant about
Mhm,
the New York incident
mhm,
of the terrorist attack,
mhm, mhm,
and you know, like again, that 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 being nationalist comes from one us trying to guard our history
mhm, mhm, mhm,
and also find our history.
mhm, mhm.
Um, and it's other caveats to it too, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Of protection and so forth. But
yeah, man, when it comes to black nationalists, because individuals, so when we're talking black nationalists, we're talking about individuals like Malcolm X, you know what I'm saying? Malcolm X was a black nationalist, but the reason why he was a nationalist is because he was talking about black people within the borders of the United States of America.
mm-hmm,
When you're talking about a white nationalist talks about they talk about maintaining a racial hierarchy. You know,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
when you're talking about white supremacy is also talking about a racial hierarchy, but it's also talking about power too,
right,
right? So white supremacy is Jim Crow, right? That's what
mm-hmm,
Jim Crow was. You know what I mean? White nationalism will be what we saw with storming the Capitol, right?
mm-hmm,
That white nationalism, white folk upset about, something, you know what I mean? And they take it out, on whatever, you know what I mean? But black nationalism was always about black people's experience within the borders of the United States of America, you know what I mean? Whether you're talking Malcolm X, whether you're talking Marcus Garvey, whether you're talking Martin Luther King,
mm-hmm,
Angela Davis, and Amari Baraka and all these other individuals,
mm-hmm.
even black nationalists that were on the right. You're talking Floyd McKissick. Uh, Shoot, I got his face. I can't remember his name right now. But Clarence Thomas at one point was a black nationalist. Thomas
Yeah.
Sowell well, he was a socialist. He wasn't really a black nationalist. He was a socialist. Thomas Sowell was a socialist at one point. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And every once in a while, when Thomas Sowell speak it, the socialism comes out. You know what I mean? Every once in a while when he speaks, you know what I'm saying? But it's about black experience in America. You know what I'm saying? It's not about taking over America.
Yeah. Right.
as
Right.
as white as white supremacists think, and it's not about maintaining a racial hierarchy as white nationalists think. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. It's sort of why you can go, you know, to Russia, Ukraine, a few other places in Germany, and you can have white nationalists there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, um,
Hmm.
and yet you don't have black nationalists
Uh-huh.
because the idea of white nationalists is not um, a it's not the same concept.
Yeah,
Um,
no, mm-mm. Yeah,
yeah,
not
yeah,
not in Europe, man. They the white nationalists over there, yeah, they consider themselves white, but they know that they're ethnically
hmm
German or ethnically,
hmm
whatever, you know what I'm saying, or ethnically, Ukrainian or Russian or whatnot.
hmm
So yeah, they won't necessarily
but
call
it's still
themselves.
about the power structure.
Yeah, yeah, they
and
won't
that and
necessarily.
that's what I'm getting at. Is you don't see the same dynamic in you know South America or in Africa where it's a high concentration of black folk. Um,
Yeah, like let's like in Europe, right? Yeah, yeah, there's not a high concentration. And the reason
mhm,
that they a lot of times aren't as boisterous is because it's a homogeneous, state, you know what I mean? Ethno,
mhm,
so of course everybody's talking about Ukraine and talking about the Nazis that are in Ukraine, you know what I'm saying?
mhm,
And the reason that they can hide amongst the in Ukraine and it's because they're Ukrainian. You know what I'm saying? Like they look like everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't have the issues, and they don't have the issue yet. There are Africans that do live there. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's just that it's so many Ukrainians, they don't concern themselves with the little bit of Africans that are there,
Right.
right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, like in Germany, they still got Nazis and white supremacists, but
Hmm.
they're like a fringe group, because everybody's German, you know what I'm saying? So
Right. Right. Right.
they don't, yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's it, bro. Um, yeah. Yeah, they can hide in America, man, and get
Hmm.
away with it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah. So it's kind of different, you know what I'm saying? And yeah.
No, no, no. So I think that the conversation that we're having is when you now have liberals
Mm-hmm.
trying to align the same one ideology next to another,
Mhm, mhm.
right? Because of certain rhetoric,
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
you know what I mean? But like me and you were talking about, like when I went back and listened to some of the guys, um, some of his Facebook posts and so forth. Like, no, he was talking like almost like a conservative,
You talking about the New York
the
shooter?
terrorist. Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
terrorist. Yeah, yeah, he's most
yeah,
definitely a
yeah,
terrorist.
yeah,
Uh, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Mhm.
yeah. He
Yeah.
was he was
He was
talking like a conservative.
yeah, but he's like all over the place, man. But most definitely
But that was
conservative,
the other part,
man. He
right?
was all over the place. He ain't like nobody. He ain't like black people. He ain't like nobody, man.
Yeah,
Shit
yeah.
was wild. He had
and
a
and that's why I said it was dangerous for Emma to say that on Sam Cedar, that aligned him with black nationalists,
mhm.
because she wasn't paying attention to the rhetoric that he was saying.
Mhm. Yeah,
Because we hear that language, we've been hearing that language forever,
culturally, right? And
culturally.
that was one thing I said against a lot of white liberals. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand the culture. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? They want to wedge, and they what's the term I just learned? Parental racism, right? Where they want to
Hmm.
parent. They want to parent black people so much, or parent people so much that it's actually harmful to a group. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because you're not understanding that black people are an ethnic group in America. We have a heritage and we have a culture. You know what I'm saying? Um, so um, so you have to understand that part, right? And um, you can't chime in and think that and think you're helping. You know what I'm saying? Like like I get it. You know what I'm saying? You're
Kevin
on the
just said the same thing.
yeah, 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 man. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is dangerous, man. It is dangerous to not understand, man. And again, but I think that the other part of that is that when we're talking about gatekeeping, right? Me and you were talking about gatekeeping,
Hmm.
we have to do a better job of explaining it as black people. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We have to
Right.
do a better job of saying, hey, look, we have a language or we have a culture, and within our
Hmm.
culture certain people talk a certain way, and these
Hmm.
are the groups of people. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
if you're going to step into our culture, you need to understand that, right?
Right.
I would not step into a Filipino culture without understanding, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
that they got
Hmm.
different groups, you know what I'm saying, and understanding their language and understanding the subcultures and everything like that. Like that's just
Hmm.
disrespectful, man. It's just disrespectful, and
Yeah.
it's just ignorant, man. It's just ignorant. But again, we're so tied up in race, and we're so tied to race that we do not. Black people do not say that. Hey, we are not a race in this country. We are an ethnic group.
Hmm.
We're an
Hmm.
ethnic group. We're in America. You know what I'm saying? We actually have a language. We have a language. We speak it, man. You know, what I mean, I think it's a good comment. But we have a big part of our culture is forgiveness. We got to be less forgiving when it comes to the dish. Man, look, bro. Look, man. 100, 100, Caitlin. And that's
Look,
what it's about. That's what it's about. That's what we're
he
talking
could.
about with the gatekeeping, man. We do. we do have to stop. And again, that, part of that conversation that we were having was that there is a certain people of a certain age within our culture who do who have this forgiveness thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
I remember, like if you read Booker T. Washington's book, right? And in Booker T. Washington's book, he talks about how when slavery ends, right? He's like 11 years old. When slavery end, like he's like, oh, black people felt, the Africans who just became American felt sorry for their slave owners because their slave owners weren't destitute. They didn't know how to fix their house. They didn't know how to farm the land, and so all the black people felt sorry for them. So they began to help them out. Like, no, for what? You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's been part of our culture, right?
Yeah.
The forgiveness part, right? We're so quick to forgive. We're so quick to be so forgiving that we have really taken apart our culture, man. We have
Mm-hmm.
really not made people respect our culture. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And it gets disrespected, right? So this is how you get white TikTokers who are making millions of dollars off of the culture from the dances that black people come up with, and we
Mm-hmm.
don't respect it enough. You know what I'm saying? Like black, they
Right.
respect it enough to where those black TikTokers like, yo, we're going on strike. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Where
Mm-hmm.
I saw that I saw something where somebody was saying that that AAVE, right, African American Vernacular English, which was called Ebonics, you know what I mean, which we all, black people speak. Somebody like white folk referring to it as internet language. No, man, it's not internet language. We've been speaking this way for for centuries since we lost our African language, dog.
Yeah.
Like we had that is part of our culture, man, is not internet language, and we need to gatekeep it and say no. It's kind of like how Kev on stage went at that one girl who was trying to call chop and screw reverb or something, like, and
Oh yeah.
assign it to a white guy. Like, what? You don't know who
Yeah.
DJ Screw is? I like, yo,
Yeah.
I know y'all got out here. Or like Miley Cyrus, all white folk come up like, oh, twerking. Oh, Miley Cyrus came up with twerking.
Right.
No,
Right.
man. No, 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 man. So,
Right.
so, you know, and it goes back to us being the elders, man. Many of us in our 40s, we have to stop being forgiving, man, and call folk out, man. Because if not, we're gonna lose our culture. We're gonna lose our identity. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, sorry for going on a
No,
long.
no, no, man. No, man. You and Kev, man. Y'all went on one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because we do, and some people are saying this language as well. I'm
Mm,
starting to notice, like, nah, man, it's okay to sit back and tell somebody that it's not all right.
yeah.
It's not okay. What
Hmm.
you're doing is not okay.
Hmm.
And that is the point I think you guys are pointing out, that we don't express that.
Yeah.
We will join along, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and at some point of time, we have to gatekeep that by saying what it is.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Um, yeah, I totally agree, man. I really don't have much to say on that because
Yeah,
it's so real.
man, because we're at that point, man, and this is where Martin Luther King was really a prophet, man. He had a speech where he mentioned an obnoxious peace, right?
Mm,
And he was saying that peace is obnoxious if I have to give up everything, if I have to give up the majority of what makes me me, right? If the culture has to give up everything that makes us a culture, you know what I mean, which makes us an ethnic group, it's an
mhm.
obnoxious piece, right?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we're frustrated, right? We're frustrated
Hmm.
because we get told that we can't speak a certain way, and then you see people who are not part of the culture speak like you know what I'm saying, like Aquafina, that Asian, girl. She just got, black folk went at her for
Hmm.
speaking in a quote unquote black scent. You know what I'm saying? When you don't come from the culture, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not like Paul Wall, right? Paul Wall
Yeah.
comes from the culture, right? So it is it is man, that's absolutely right. And that's what Martin Luther King was saying in that obnoxious piece, right? You know what I mean? When he was saying it's an obnoxious piece, is that we compromise so much that it becomes, you know what I mean? Like you just get, you're the one being frustrated because the other
Hmm.
side is like, oh well, everything is good, everything is good. What are y'all complaining about? You
All
know what
right.
I'm saying? Like we're always compromising. We're always in a position to where we got to compromise our culture. You know what I mean? We got to give up. You know our
Hmm.
culture. What people say? We're so quick to invite people to the barbecue. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like we're so quick to invite people to the barbecue, man. And I'm so tired of people like acting like interracial relationships are like a new thing. Like, please stop. Stop, man. It's 2022. Majority of us in our 40s, man, grew up with by ethnic people, multi-ethnic people, man,
Right.
multi-ethnic friends. So so people acting like, these things are good. It's like, stop, man. You know what I'm saying? Just be human beings, dog. You have a relationship, you know but at the end of the day, what I mean, what Martin Luther King was saying was that the compromise is so much that it's just that it's not worth the peace. It's just not worth the peace. It's not worth it. I would rather have, what I mean, rather have a war. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, man. Exactly. It will be a problem, man. It'll be a problem, man. It will be, man. And people will be like, "Oh, well, why are y'all interrupting their culture?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you best believe that the Chinese people they'll be quick, or
Oh
anybody
yeah. Yeah.
quick to like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, what are y'all doing?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
I mean? We see what's wrong with, things like Cinco de Mayo, right? Cinco de Mayo is a perverted holiday.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
like, nobody, people just like, oh, Cinco de Mayo is a reason to drink. No, man, Cinco de Mayo was about slavery, man. Like, what
Yeah.
are you about? What are you doing, dog? What are you doing? Like, we just celebrated, people just celebrated baseball player. I can't remember his name. Jackie Robinson, right?
Right.
Jackie Robinson. Everybody's celebrating Jackie Robinson Day. And Stephen A. Smith, he actually was pretty good. Jackie Robinson wouldn't even stand for the American flag, dog.
Mm-hmm.
So again, what are you compromising, man? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing when we're sitting here making it seem like, oh, Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. He was already playing baseball.
Right. Right.
Like, he was already playing baseball. White folk just
Right.
let him play. He wasn't even the first black baseball player in the major leagues. You know what I'm saying? It was two brothers in the 1800s. I can't remember their names right now.
Hmm.
But people are like, like, oh, Jackie Robinson, he broke the color barrier. No, this man went through hell. This man
Yeah.
went through hell so that black people can play, make money in the league that had the most resources.
Right.
Major League Baseball at the time didn't even get as many fans as the Negro leagues.
That
You know
is
what I'm
true.
saying? They just
Yeah.
had more money. Like,
Yeah.
let's put things in perspective, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's again, it goes back to what me and you were talking about when we're like, hey man, we gotta stop whitewashing King, all the
Hmm.
whitewashing Dr. King and all these things that is part of our culture, man. It's part of our culture, man. Yeah. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So,
Because we do it too, right?
yeah.
We also participate into the whitewash of all of these things because we have a laziness to history as well. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like we kind of take everything as a blind fact and just run with it, but not realizing the history of what this country has been when it came to telling the story factually.
Hmm. 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 Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, and we have to get to telling facts, man. We have to, man. We really we have to get back to what Martin Luther King and all those individuals were doing during the 60s and the 70s. Fred Hampton and Angela Davis, and you know what I'm saying? All those individuals were telling the true story of America. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. The real story, Dr. King's last years, man. Like, Dr. King's last years, man. A lot of people don't want to. People, again, we allowed um we allowed people who are not part of our culture to tell the story of Dr. King.
Mhm.
And that's what I felt this year about Jackie Robinson. I'm like, why aren't
Mhm.
black people telling the story of Jackie Robinson?
Mhm.
What's going on? What's
Mhm.
I only saw a few people. Again, Stephen A, was telling me,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But I seen people like, oh, Jackie Robinson, oh, he played baseball so the rest of us can play base. No, he was a human being that went through hell. He went through so much hell that he did not want to celebrate during his Hall of Fame. This man went through hell. Tell that story. You
You know what's so funny about this conversation,
know what
right?
I'm saying?
As I'm listening to you and kind of thinking through some thoughts and so
Hmm.
forth, we talked about different things in here, all the way from Will Smith, and the terrorist act in New York, Mayor Adams,
Hmm.
and what you're explaining was the theme of this conversation about black folk have to assimilate.
Assimilation.
Yeah, and which means when we do that, we're losing a part of our culture, our history,
Hmm.
and so forth, because we're relying on someone else to tell that story.
To tell the story, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. It's like what I told my coworker. My coworker's white, right? But he has a German last name. So I asked him, I was like, "Do you speak German?" He said, "No." I was like, "Do you know why you don't speak German?" I said, "Because your ancestors chose to be white. They chose to be white instead of German." I was like, "You're from a part of Pennsylvania where a lot of Germans live." I was like,
Hmm.
where you think Germantown comes from?" I was like, "You know how many Germantowns are in America?" I was like, "Do you know that there are like 4 communities in America where there are people, there are 4 generations of people who still speak German to this day?" You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, but your ancestors chose to be white. Y'all chose to give up your culture to assimilate. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I was like, do you know that there was Jews who came to this country who changed their names, who Christianized their
Yeah.
names? I was
Yeah.
like, do you know that Donald Trump's last name was Drumpf,
Hmm.
not Trump? I was like, he has family over in Germany. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And they were celebrating, you know what I mean, because because he became president and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? I was like, but he did it all to assimilate because it was easier to assimilate rather than fight for a culture. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Rather than remain a culture. You had Italians that did the same thing. I was telling a dude,
Irish. Hmm.
yeah, the Irish. I was telling a dude in Greece. I was telling a dude in Greece about how he spoke pretty good. He spoke pretty good English, man. I didn't even talk about our Greek vacation, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it was good though. It was good. Wouldn't go to Athens
Oh.
though. Athens was like Philly or New York, man. There was people
Oh.
out there shooting up drugs and everything. I mean, Athens, cool. Go experience it
Yeah.
for the things, but the same thing. But I was telling him, I was like, yeah, man, because he was asking about Greek people and things of that nature. I was like, yeah, man, there's a lot of Greek people who are Greek and they don't know they're Greek because when they came to America, they either willingly or unwillingly cut a lot of the vowels, a lot of
Hmm.
basically cut their last name short. So
Hmm.
their last name is shorter now, you know what I'm saying? So they don't know that they're Greek, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people, you know what I mean, that don't know that. But at the end of the day, they chose to give up their culture rather than to fight for a culture. You know what I'm saying? To
Yeah.
remain a culture. You know what I'm saying? And I think that with Black people, doing the assimilation thing. You know what I mean? Assimilating. We're kind of going through the same thing, man. And again, I think that while I appreciate the older people in our community, man, they are doing harm to our community
Yeah.
by centering the issues of of the white populace, you know what I'm saying? Especially on the left, you know what I'm saying? We got to call out these
Right.
folks on the left who, yeah, look, you might got good intentions to help, but this is what you need to do. This is how you can help. First, you
Right.
can help
Right.
by just listening to Black folk and doing what Black folk tell you to do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's just like the conversation that I sent to you with Tiffany Cross.
Mm,
Cross, right? And I can't remember the gentleman that they had on, but he lives in Georgia, who helped the bill for, as the Democrats call it, the voter suppression bill.
mhm,
Um, and he was proud. of what that bill did.
Mhm.
And so I can't remember the other gentleman's name. Oh my
Oh,
goodness, with the afro.
Ellie. Yeah, Ellie, I can't remember his name. Ellie
Yeah,
some or other. I follow him on Twitter. I can't remember his
yeah,
name.
yeah. So, and he pointed out, and man, I like that when this guy talked. Man, he
Mm,
gets straight to the point, and he flat out told him. He said, "See, this is the problem within our culture.
mhm.
Is we have black folk that are okay with tap dancing for white supremacy, and
Yeah.
then you have on the other side people like Herschel Walker who aren't smart enough to
Mm,
know that he's tap dancing for white supremacy.
mhm, 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 mhm.
And that was a big piece. If people could have really, took the meat off that bone,
Mhm, mhm.
because you can see that anything that conservative blacks, or the ideology that conservative blacks, what they say, none of these things work in the real world for black folk. You,
Yeah, I think that's yeah, what Ellie was saying was true, man, when it comes to, because again, it goes back to something, and uh man, I look, this is true, man. Man, it's no diversity, man. We gotta have Caitlyn on, man. Talk about
yeah, yeah,
rap music, man. 'Cause I really have a gripe with rap music, man, and that's you know what I'm saying, like there really is no diversity. You know what I'm saying? In the genres when it comes to rap music, and this is what I said, man, about rap music, man. That rap music needs to have categories. You know what I'm saying? The problem with
hmm
rap music, we put everybody in a category, and everybody does different music. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
So we compare. You know what I mean? We'll compare a Kodak Black to Nas or Jay Z or Future
yeah, yeah.
to Nas, and they're just different artists. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? You know what I mean? And we have to break it down. We're like the only genre of music that don't break it down, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
into, trap music, or you know what I mean, or crunk or
hmm
whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's really a problem in rap music, man. But I think that because we didn't gatekeep, we didn't gatekeep the music,
Yeah.
man. It allowed, it allowed for it to be watered down, man. It
hmm
really.
hmm
Personally, just being overseas, I think that people overseas appreciate the music more than we do. You know what I mean? More than black people do. They
They
still,
consume more music as well.
well, yeah, and they still, like, if I, like, I listen to a lot of German rap, and you had a lot of German trap, music.
hmm
But you still had a lot of old school music. I mean, they're still breakdancing. They're still the DJ is still incorporated in the rap music, you know what I'm
hmm
saying? And you still had, German, or if I listen to Japanese, there were still Japanese or German artists who were revered by their lyrics. And I didn't understand what they were saying, you know what I'm saying? I'm
hmm
only going off what people were telling me, you know what I'm saying? But they were like revered, because of their lyrics, you know what I'm saying? They still
Right.
care, you know what I mean? Um, we don't care about lyrics. And Kately, I think I shared it. Do you see that? Kately, he had a song, Black, where he's Black
No,
America.
I did. It was dope. It was dope.
Yeah,
Man, I
dope.
listened to it like 4 times.
Yeah, yeah, man. That John is dope, man. So, shout out to the brother Kately, man, for continuing to put out music and stuff like that, man. But it is man, we just didn't gatekeep the music, man. You know what I'm saying?
hmm hmm
Um, yeah, we just didn't gatekeep the music. Uh, um, yeah, man, and the music sounds the same. You know what I'm saying? Sound the same. And again, part of that assimilation, right?
hmm
We had individual look, man. We had individuals who was coming out of the '90s, and they were so concerned about making money that they didn't gatekeep.
Yeah.
Rappers in the '70s and the '80s gatekeep, right?
Right.
So they were like, hey, those rappers in the '90s, they had to go through those rappers in the '80s. Those rappers in the '80s, like, hey, man, you can't be putting out all this whack trash.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like like MC Hammer, like people were dissing MC Hammer or dissing
Mhm.
Vanilla Ice or anybody who they thought was whack. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Now nobody does that, man. Everybody just consumed about money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and rap is just a one dimensional. Yeah, just one dimension. It just what I'm saying. You just put out whatever flow is putting out whatever flow everybody else is putting out.
It pretty much sound the same, but man, I'm gonna say this, man, because my kids they got me listening to some of these boys over in Cali, man,
Hmm.
and the rappers that's coming out of Cali. Kendrick Lamar did something to them,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
he made them step up, and their music sound like, man, you hear the instruments, how George Clinton used to come across,
Hmm.
the funkadelics, and like, oh, like you hear it in their raps in the background, and like how their cadences are, and I'm
Hmm.
sitting here like, oh yeah, Kendrick made them step their game up in Cali,
Yeah, yeah,
where
yeah.
the difference is everybody else sounds the same. Chicago, New York,
Mhm.
now down in Florida, like they all sound pretty much the same. Everybody, Atlanta is pretty
Mhm.
much just trap music.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah,
California, them boys, they sound different.
I think that Cali is the next 20-year span of
Run.
music. Yeah, the 20-year run, right? New York
Hmm.
had a 20-year run. Uh Atlanta
Atlanta.
or South had a 20-year
Hmm.
run. Their run is coming to an end. And I think Cali is the next to have that 20-year run. You know what I'm saying? I thought Cali's 20-year run was when the game came out, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Uh, I thought that that was going to be their 20-year run. You know what I'm saying? But I think that this is going. I think that they're going to have their 20-year run here, man. 'Cause I think we need it, man. I think it's time for a change. It really is time for a change, man. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is.
It's just time for a change, man. And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I think that most of it was, I think there's the same critique about us about the southern style of music,
Hmm.
the same critique that people had of New York style music. Oh, everybody's sounding the same. Once that
Hmm.
happens, all you need is a new sound that come out. And
Yeah.
by the way, Kendrick drops in May. I'm just saying,
Yeah, buddy.
might not see me for a month. Y'all ain't gonna see me for a month. I'm telling you that.
Yeah.
Joint drop when that joint drops, man. Hey, I'm telling
And,
you, dog.
and
I can't wait
again,
for that joint.
you know who he got working on his album. One of the producers,
Who's that?
Clinton.
Uh, you talking about George Clinton?
Yep.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. If you think his first album was fire because Mr. Clinton was on there, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this one might be crazy.
Yeah, 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 man. Look, man, I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it, man. I like Kendrick, man. Kendrick is that dude, man. He brings a most definitely, uh, most definitely an art form, man. Not forgetting that rap
Yeah.
is an art form, man. It is
Yeah.
an art form. It's not, it's not to that you sound the same as everybody else.
Hmm.
It's that you bring your particular talent. You know what I'm saying? Your art form and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, that's one thing I was thinking about, man. I'm like, man, I got time on my hand. Maybe I'll pick the book up again and all right, I ain't done it in 20 years, man. Maybe I'll do it again, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, man. But,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, man. But that's one thing, I like about rap music, man, is that, I thought at this age I would stop listening to rap music, but I ain't never gonna stop listening to rap music. I just
Hey,
realized
man.
it's all
Like I tell the kids, man, we gonna be the grandpops or the great grandpops that still like loud music, play video games, and listen to rap music.
we gonna pull up to our grandkids' house, man, with 15s in the back. Like, hey, what up, grandson? It's like, Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom.
Right.
Like, oh, grandpa out there again. God, dang, grandpa, you gotta turn this music.
Yeah, we gonna be that generation, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't worry about it, grandson. I keep it
Yeah.
on me. We're gonna be that generation.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man. I think that our biggest the biggest thing is we just got to do more gatekeeping, man. We
Yeah.
really do, man. We really do. Being the elders, man. We got to do more gatekeeping because we are an ethnic group. We have to start talking like an ethnic group. You know what I'm saying? Uh, we have to start, understanding. Like, look, man. There are people who can adopt Black culture. We need to be okay with that, right?
Hmm.
There are groups, we know, in Cali, especially you go to Cali, you got
Hmm.
different ethnic groups out there that adopt Black culture. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Now everybody said the N word out there. Look, okay, you know, uh, it's wild out there, man. That time we went out there. You remember that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
But
Cali different. Cali
Cali
different.
different, yeah, Cali different. But we need to understand that there are people that are going to adopt our culture, adopt our language, but they have to respect it.
Yeah.
Respect. You know what I'm saying? Don't be out here like Miley Cyrus and you out here adopting our language, and then when you want to, when you talk about I was just going through a different phase. No, Black people, we are not a phase. We're
Yeah.
not a phase.
Right.
Justin Timberlake, we ain't not a phase, homie. You know,
Right.
and Black
Right.
bought your music, homie. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We not a phase, dog. You know what I'm saying? So, we just have to we really have to combat a lot of our elders who are trying to assimilate and get them to understand that, hey man, we don't have to assimilate. We can still operate like every other ethnic group in here in this country. You know what I'm saying?
Hey
But
man, what's freedom?
hey
You know what
man,
I'm saying? Like, like what's freedom if I can't sit back and be who my what my ethnic group or my culture
hmm,
gave to me? Like, that ain't freedom. If
yeah,
I got to sit back and be what you want me to be as a group
hmm,
to say that I'm quote unquote American and so forth,
hmm,
then I'm not free then.
yeah, yeah, that's true, man. Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. Because like I told another coworker of mine, that's white. I'm like, look, man. Anytime you say the word American, you're talking about white people. You're just centering. You're
Yeah.
automatically talking about white people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You're not. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we are. Like Toni Morrison said, everybody else is hyphenated. Is hyphenated.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I always make a distinction when Africans became American. That is what the 14th Amendment is. That's what the 14th Amendment about. And somebody said I was listening to a podcast and this somebody was saying I think it was Kimberly Crenshaw's podcast. She was saying how Black people we gotta like own the 14th Amendment. So when
Hmm.
somebody's violating our 14th Amendment right, we say, hey,
Hmm.
you are violating my 14th Amendment right to freedom. You know what I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of calling somebody a racist, you say, "Hey, you are violating my 14th Amendment right to freedom," because that
You know
14th
what?
Amendment was
That's
specific,
even better.
was specifically for Black people. It was specifically for the Africans who became American. So we got to start talking like that. We do. We do. We really do.
Yeah. Yeah.
We really do.
Yeah. And plus now they can't go back and then say, "Oh, now you want to call me a racist? Want to play the race card?" Well, what you gonna say? You want to play the constitutional card?
Yeah. Oh, you play that 14th Amendment card, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
You calling me a 14th Amendment?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
No, I like that.
Yeah, man. Everybody, I need to go back and read the 14th Amendment myself, but everybody needs to go because she specifically talked about a certain section in the 14th Amendment to where, the 14th Amendment was specifically for Black people. Basically, the 14th Amendment says if you're born in America, if you're
Hmm.
born on the land of, in the borders of America, you are an American. But there's a specific section in there. It says more than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
it relates to racism and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. Stick it to your head like the big joker.
Yeah.
Hey, that's something else we need to gatekeep. Black folk that don't know how to play spades, man. I'm just saying. You black don't know how to play spades. Like, hey, bro, hey, come on, man. Come on, let's get together, man. Hey, but actually
Yeah.
some of the best spades players I met are white folk, man. Hey, man. Yeah.
Man.
be from Texas, and man, whew, man,
Man,
that's
maybe I need to hit this. I ain't played spades ever since. Matter of fact, we were over Sean house.
oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, man,
when
yeah.
we were running the table.
Running the table, man. Hey, talking junk too, talking junk.
Everybody like, man, what's going on with y'all? Nah, we just know how to play this game.
Play this game, dog. Know how to play this game. Hey, I already know what you're gonna throw out. I already know
Yeah.
what you're throwing out, dog. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I love playing spades, man. Love
It's like, man, y'all undercutting each other. It's all right. We've been had our books.
it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what it's about, man. That's what it's about. Yeah, man.
Uh,
Yeah, man. But all right, bro, man. You had anything else, man? We wrap up, man.
no, man. I just I can't wait to we kind of be a little more consistent for everybody out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully we can start bringing more content,
Hmm.
different kind of content. Um, Hopefully we can start working on trying to gain more people to start listening, and they can start joining in so we can start really having a real conversation, because I feel like we're not really getting into like the real weeds
Hmm.
of a lot of issues, and I think that's what you know what really helped our group and other groups to really start keying in on certain things, right? I mean, CRT wouldn't have never been a real issue if people were to start really having a conversation about it, right? How to deal with it, how to attack it, and so forth. Um, the LGBT bills and all of this stuff. Like none of this stuff would have been a problem if if people would have start having real conversations to
Hmm.
deal with it. But again, like in the spaces that we are in on the podcast, because everybody is so focused on like their own fan base because they're monetizing it and so forth, that they're not willing to go into other spaces to really collab, which I think it needs to start happening, because this is how you create the web, right?
Hmm.
And once you create the web, it's hard for anything else to escape it.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, my bad. Man. Oh man, getting old, man.
Yeah.
Time to but yeah, man, I agree, man. I think that's that's one thing we talked about was being more consistent now that we have time. Beginning of the pod, we talked about, hey man, just we've been doing this for like a year and some change, man. So,
Hmm.
and a lot of it is wrapped around our family, and we did not want this to take away from our family, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take away from our because our family is important, you know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
so we are going to have more time, so hopefully that means more content, and and we can continue to bring a message, and again, man, have cultural conversations, man. The reason why we're doing this, or we started, our vision was to really have cultural conversations, you know what I'm saying, and to be gatekeepers, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
really be gatekeepers, you know what I mean. Not so much, politics. I know we talk about politics a lot, but really, we really want to talk about culture, man. We really want to talk about Black culture, man, so that we can give people the ammo. You know what I mean? When they're out and about, you know what I mean? To really protect our culture, man, and protect our ethnic group, man. Protect our ethnic group. You know what I'm saying? So we really appreciate you guys tuning in, man. We appreciate everybody that's going to tune in, and look for us to be, working to be more consistent. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully growing, man. And hopefully growing, man.
Hmm.
Yeah, man.
Hmm.
Uh, so it's your boy Tay, man. JY, man. Is, you know what I'm saying? Podcast, and we appreciate you guys, man. We out.
All right, y'all.